ending also has changed because they did not allow the police officer to take revenge. He said, यार मेरा रोल तो अच्छा है लेकिन कहानी तो संजीव कुमार की है. मुझे संजीव कुमार, should I not be playing Sanjeev Kumar's role? So you won't get Hema Malini. No, I'll play Viru. They even came to me towards the end of the film and said, we are together now. Banduk wala scene. You know, he's teaching her, and so that was the one that took the maximum time. Action cameraman said, I will not shoot. It can't happen on my set. I don't want it to happen that any accident takes place. That apprehension, a little apprehension was there if one actor had more lines, which Dharamji did, and he would give one look, it was enough. It conveyed a lot. Was taking time to get into the role. They just mentioned that if there is a problem, then you don't have to continue with him. Amitabh Bachchan should not die. People don't like what, तो दीवार में नहीं मरा था. He said, देखिए इंटरवल हो गया है, इधर कोई नहीं है. Nobody is buying any drinks.
Ramesh Sippy, welcome to CNN News 18. Ramesh ji, your third directorial venture and the biggest film of your career, Sholay, will be re-releasing on December 12th in cinemas in a restored version. The new restored version will be titled as Sholay The Final Cut. What's new in store for the fans this time around? When
I think it should suffice to say that this is the version that I made originally, as I conceived it and worked on it, and now the final cut as it is, with all the original, due to the emergency at that time in 1975, we could not protest too much. Whatever I tried to do at that time, I managed, but now you will see it in its original form.
You know, the reason I ask you, fans are of course eager to see what new surprises this edition has in store. What are some of the new scenes or songs that will be added to the new version? You of course recorded one song called Char Bhan with Kishore Kumar and Manna
No,
Dey.
it was not recorded. It was made, it was about to be recorded.
Okay.
When we analyzed it, it felt that we already had too much. We could not see the version that was released already 3 hours and 20 minutes. And in its original form, it's probably 3.5 hours. So 10-12 minutes, some scenes were re-edited and things, but otherwise it's in its original form now.
It's pretty much the same story with the same scenes. Yeah. And the ending will...
Ending also has changed because they did not allow the police officer to take revenge. They wanted it that he cuffs him and takes him away, which is what I never wanted. Every film it used to happen, in the end the inspector would come and take away the criminal. So
in this, the original, the one which will be releasing in that, police officer will be arriving and arresting Gabbar Singh.
No. Thakur finishes Gabbar Singh.
And he'll be arrested? No.
We leave it at that.
Okay. So also, you know, I just want to take you back to your office in Khar where it all started. Sholay was initially a 4-line idea that was pitched to you. What was it in those 4 lines that made you say yes to the film? Because Salim Javed offered you two stories. One was this 4-line idea of Sholay and one fully developed film called Majboor.
True, correct. I personally was of the opinion, पहले इसको बना देते हैं, मजबूर, ready script है to shoot. And बाकी during the making of Majboor, I will develop the script with Salim Javed for Sholay and then move on to Sholay. my father cut in and said,
I want to make a big film.
yeah, forget this. It's nice, but forget it. Go for the bigger one. So we conceded. I went for the bigger one, and it's history.
Let's talk about the casting. Who recommended Amitabh Bachchan's name? Because Mr. Bachchan was very new that time.
Um, in all fairness, it was suggested by Salim Javed, but I had seen him in two films. One was Anand,
Hmm.
in which he played a straight role, and one was uh, Bombay to Goa,
Okay.
Mehbood's film, in which he played. Seeing him dance in that bus, a tall, 6'2" lanky guy, I thought it would be awkward, but he did it so gracefully and beautifully. I said, you have two aspects of one actor. And I felt, yes, this is someone I would love to work with.
We all wanted to know that everybody wanted to play the role of Gabbar, even including Dharamji, who was
Yes,
that
yes,
time dating Hema Malini. But you, like a smart director, convinced him that if you play Gabbar, then Hemaji's hand would go to Sanjeev Kumar.
He said, when he heard the whole script, he said, यार मेरा रोल तो अच्छा है, लेकिन कहानी तो संजीव कुमार की है. मुझे संजीव कुमार, should I not be playing Sanjeev Kumar's role? I said, yes, you can. It's a good role. It's his story, yes. And Amjad is so colorful. His lines, the way it has been conceived, the character, it's very, very engaging. I said, yes, of course you can. Anybody who would love to play Gabbar. But your role is for you. In the long run, if you think about it, you will feel that it's got its moments, it's got everything in it. And of course, most important as far as I'm concerned is you won't get Hema Malini, which should be most important to you also. So he said, yes, that's true. No, I'll play Viru.
So, we have spoken a lot about the character, but I really wanted to know about your equation with the film DOP Devecha, who was very strict even with the actors. Can you please tell us about the DOP of the film?
He actually, Devecha did a stint with me on Andaz and Sita Aur Geeta. He did a few days on each film when there was a clash of, in those days, films used to be made over a period of a year, 2 years. So in each of the films there was a clash. And on the very first film, Andaz, he came and I said, this is roughly what I would like. He said, let's start from the beginning. So this sequence starts with, and I said, okay, going up the stairs. Then, I said, then a close-up of his, but if the character is left or right, how will it be? Now, I was new to this. I knew about left and right, but the practical aspect of movie making is you're supposed to be here, but you're looking here. All these
axis,
are.
you need to know the axis.
Sorry? Yes, that is according to the camera you have to be.
Yeah.
So, in all this, he was very, very, he didn't put me down in any way, but by his expressions and by his way of putting it, within that one sequence, I learned so much. But after that, whatever I would whenever I would think of a scene, Shami Kapoor had been a very uh, diverse kind of a happy-go-lucky songs and things. And he was playing a married man with a child who'd lost his wife. So that kind of a character, then Devecha said, if we play this, there's a certain way you should be handling. So that I agree entirely because it's in my head.
This was in Andaz.
Having experienced that, and one set of Sita or Gita also he came for. This I was doing with my original K. Vaikund cameraman.
But then I've read that he was also very strict, even with the actor Devecha. Do you remember any scene where he was?
Yeah. So I'm trying to say that he, for instance, in the climax sequence also, Hemaji was to dance, and the rocks were very, very hot. She stood there and she was obviously for her protection, and then I suggested she wear some pad, which she did, but still the pad would be seen.
Yeah.
And Devecha said, how can I have this? And she said, remove the pads. So she was also brave enough to do that. But he was strictly according to the old world. I want everything. If you want a fine film at the end, everything has to be right. And having followed that, I found in Sita or Gita, and the concept of shot after shot after shot was so much in my head that for me, setting up a sequence was never a problem. I had to keep in mind what the actors would do, readjust a wee bit according to that, but mostly the concept would be what I had thought the scene should be, which all my films reflect, that the storytelling is in its correct form. People are with you, enjoying the emotions and yet appreciating the way it's been done.
Sir, you played a key role in shaping Hemaji's stardom. When she was offered the role of Basanti, she asked you, "Ye kya hai?" And you told her, "This is Sanjeev Kumar and Gabbar ki film." Yet she agreed to play the role of Basanti. In your view, what was Hemaji's greatest strength that made Basanti's character so enduring?
As far as she was concerned, after Andaz and Sita or Gita, she said, I don't want to know anything. You feel there is a role for me, I'll do it. But having said this, when I sat with Javed Saab, I told him, she has done Sita or Gita, this, now, thoda sa isme. And then that yap, badi Basanti.
Motor mouth.
So that came through, and I think she picked it up so fast. I couldn't say the lines the way she did. Otherwise, I should have been telling her. She just got it right and went for it. I think damn good.
You know, we heard that Dharamji and Hemaji were dating that time when they were making Sholay. And we heard Dharamji talking to us many years ago that how he used to bribe some of the lightmen to make mistakes so that he can spend more time and do multiple takes and spend more time with Hemaji.
It's not like that, but the story is correct. Take a little time, let it be longer. All that is true. But together, the magic had begun, and during the making, yes, They even came to me towards the end of the film and said, "We are together now." And that was a wonderful revelation that they had developed this fondness for each other. Uh, so I think a lot goes on behind the scenes of so many films. The industry has known of these happenings, whether it was Madhubala or it was all the earlier heroines and heroes. And naturally, it's natural when people come together. So it happened on Sholay as well. So I think nothing unreal about it.
But which scene for which you did the maximum takes? Do you remember? कि इस scene के लिए बहुत सारे takes लिए गए थे, especially with Hema ji and Dharam ji.
Hema ji was so good with her lines, it didn't take. And with Dharam ji, if at all, the time taken was with the Banduk wala scene. You know, he's teaching her, and so that was the one that took the maximum time. Because it had to look natural, everything, him touching her and she then realizing that he's what he's up to, and even the anger and everything was, by now the chemistry had begun. And to show that I don't want, stop it, was not natural. And yet, as an actor and as an actress, they did it beautifully. So I think these things happen.
So then talking about...
And then it's something that happens, it's lasted 50 years, come on. So it's not just happening on the set.
Yeah, yes.
It's been a long association.
So then staying with Dharamji and guns, tell us about that incident when Dharamji accidentally fired the real bullet that just passed Amitabh Bachchan.
That was in the climax. That was the one in which he he picked up the bullets, where he picks up the bullets, stuffs them in, puts them. Now in this shot he was not supposed to fire. It was just loading the gun. So he did that and put the gun up and fired. Amit ji was standing up there. That was his position at the edge of the cliff, and he was with his, and the bullet whizzed past him. So it was, and Jim Allen, the cameraman, action cameraman, said, "I will not shoot. Because if actors behave like this, then it can't happen on my set. I don't want it to happen that any accident takes place." That day the shooting was cancelled, and we obviously looked after him in that sense. He cooled him off and samjhaud Dharamji, you go into that mood, it's good, but you can't shoot when there's possibility of... He understood very good. He said, "I'm very sorry." He apologized to Jim, he apologized to Amit ji, who was standing there, and they all made up very nicely. And obviously it was not intentional, it was just as in his mood he fired off.
I just give a backstory to the viewers that, you know, the director Jim Allen wanted to use real bullets, especially in the close-up shots, to make it look real. And this was for the song Jab Tak Hai Jaan. And he accidentally fired and the bullet passed Amitabh Bachchan. But sir, also tell us, did Jaya ji have any reservation about playing Radha, since the role was relatively short? And also, you know, how did you comfort her during the shoot, given that she was pregnant?
She was pregnant before she started to shoot. We started the film with a shot of Amit ji returning the keys to her, the safe keys. That was lovely, everything went okay. when we came to the other sequences, and she was pregnant. So I looked at her, called Mr. Devecha. I said, she's looking a little plump. For me, she should have been an emaciated, she should have that look. And she did this role because she loved the script. She wanted to work with me as well, and she was opposite Amit ji. So it was a nice combination of things. And as far as the role was concerned, she got to play a role with hardly any dialogues. So it was a silent role in that sense. And she has eyes. I don't think anybody else has eyes that convey so much. And she used them so beautifully. I think it conveyed everything that was in her heart on her face through those eyes.
Can you also tell us about the incident when Dharmendra's and Amitji's car broke down and they returned to hotel in an auto rickshaw? How worried were you about your actors that evening?
Yes, we got worried. We started to think of what all we could do to find them. Were they on a mischievous trip somewhere and we should not disturb them, or should we start looking for them? They were lost in the jungle, and so we set out to try and look for them. But finally, a couple of hours later, they turned up. So I think they had a good time. They had a couple of drinks or something, but they were back and they were intact and everything was fine.
But then what was the reason behind giving instructions to all the chauffeurs that once the car leave hotel, it should not be stopped midway? This was the instruction, I think.
Yes. Because rules are made, but then rules also get broken, no? Once in a while, when if it breaks, then it's still a rule. An exception is made sometimes, but still a rule. So the exception should also be allowed.
But what was the
They
reason
are
behind?
responsible people. They showed throughout the filming that they were very responsible. They would come on time, they would work hard, and they would relax, and they would, everything that was required of them was done.
So, be it Sholay, Sita or Geeta or Shan, they all are multi-starers. How did you manage the egos on the set? Because today no big actors, no two actors want to work together.
I guess I was lucky that in those days some multi-starers were around. Manmohan Desai was making some films with multi-starers, but not too many people. So the actors obviously would work with somebody they had faith in. I happened to be one of the lucky ones. I didn't have any problems with them. So it was, for me, it was fine. That apprehension, a little apprehension was there. I could sense it. And when I sensed it, I would talk about it so that the tension eased and they were comfortable, and we took it forward.
कौन से दो एक्टर्स के बीच में टेंशन थी हमेशा थी कभी कभी?
बीच में नहीं.
हाँ.
If one actor had more lines, which Dharamji did, Amitji didn't mind. He was a silent one, but he found that correct for his character, and he would give one look. It was enough. It conveyed a lot. And with Dharamji, his character Viru, it was the talkative character, and that suited him, and that was lovely when he did that, whether it was behind the statue or it was just the way the character was, and that's how.
So then which scene, perhaps that was not very long on the script level, but it turned out to be very entertaining?
The Tanki scene.
Okay. कितना लिखा हुआ था वो script?
लिखा हुआ था,
हाँ.
the body of it was there. He made it his own and brought out a few words here and there which are not there, and he just conveyed that lover of all times, that he would die if she wouldn't be his, and but it all happened so nicely and naturally. Essence of the scene was always there, but he conveyed it in his own way, and it turned out to be a highlight of the film. Yes, while Amit ji is there with the Mausi, putting the pinpricks in, and he, it all, I mean, as we had wanted to, it got conveyed in exactly that way, just that much better, with the artists doing their extra bit. It turned out that much better.
Were you worried about that tanky scene because it was a set? It was not a what a time.
It was set. It did give us a bit of jitter, but he was, more than anything else, a man is his own life. He knows that where to stop. We feel he may not, but a man loves his own life. So we have to believe that whatever he was doing, the grips he had on him, we had people around, we had nets, we had everything, but the way he did it, the confidence was there.
If the film like Sholay be made today, the entourage cost alone would be very high. What's your take on these high staff fees and entourage costs?
I don't think today we could do that. Yeah, the pricing today is such, it would not be possible for so many actors to work together. However good the roles and however good the script, I doubt if it could happen again. And yet, it might. And we'll all be pleasantly surprised if it does and see something wonderful again.
Also, tell us about Gabbar Singh. First, Danny was supposed to play that role, and then it went to Amjad Khan.
He was in Afghanistan when we started to shoot, and we couldn't wait, and just wanted to move on without him. I thought of different possibilities, and then Amjad's name flashed across, and my personal view on that, I'd seen Amjad on stage because he did a play with my wife. They played it together, and I remember him being a good actor on stage. And he was, of course, the son of Jayant, another fine actor. And when we called him over, there he was with his bulk and height and chaudai, lambai. I just felt it is all there. And then he had his voice, which was very odd. To me, in my mind, that's the way it should be. A lot of people said, why wasn't it dubbed and why wasn't it?
You're right.
You should change it, you should not. And taking Amjad, the newcomer, against Amitabh and Dharmendra and Sanjeev Kumar and all these wonderful actors. No, it's the character. If he comes through, it'll be fine.
Good you mentioned the dubbing part because reportedly there was a misunderstanding between Amjad Khan and Salim Javed because he felt they wanted to replace him because he wasn't performing well in the first schedule. Is it true, sir?
No, they just mentioned that if there is a problem, then you don't have to continue with him. We took a decision, but if it's not working out, maybe they heard from some members of the staff we had a problem. He was taking time to get into the role. The tobacco,
Tobacco thing.
which he वो मसल रहा है तम्बाकू और साथ साथ लाइन बोल रहा है. He would either speak the lines or he would
Do this.
do this. Getting him to be comfortable and keep doing it while talking. It took a couple of days of rehearsals, and then he started to get comfortable with that. Just that on that film, I did everything that was possible to get the actors into comfort zone. I mean, get the lighting right, get the cameraman's vision right, get everyone. So
Let's talk about the music, sir. Which song, the one you thought in the recording studio, this ये तो गाना hit है?
I think that was Dosti to begin with. And the last one was, according to the
Mehbooba.
situation, it was fine. Mehbooba was the hit in everyone's mind. Okay, that would work. I meant the dance sequence at the end of Hema Malini, हाँ जब तक है, again was a situation one, perfect for that situation. Mehbooba was the song, any song could have done over there, but Mehbooba was absolutely spot on.
A dance number.
Helen and
Yeah. So then, do you agree that film industry hasn't been kind to Helen because she was mostly given dance numbers and very little dialogue in most of the film?
in those days that's the way it was. Because she had that western look, so she did most of the cabaret numbers but she's been happy, she's done so much work and she fitted into that groove and she's done some fabulous numbers. So even say Mehbooba as a song is very much remembered. So it can't be just for that guy on the drums. It is her song, absolutely her song. He may sing it, but she brings the whole thing alive.
So, Sholay was released on August 14th, and while the industry was skeptical and most reviews were mixed, when did you know that film is of course audience is liking the film and they're resonating strongly with it? Tell us how the owner of Geeta Cinema, what he told you. The fee, what was the reaction?
It's very simple.
From the first or the
This
premiere?
negative reaction was coming from the press, from the trade papers, and we had a meeting also because everybody was giving this opinion that, and then different reasons. Amitabh Bachchan should not die. People don't like what, so Diwar mein nahi mara tha. Just before that, the film was released in January of the same year. So they accepted him in that. What is the problem? So we discussed and analyzed and decided to stay with everything as it was. And it settled. Everything, they stopped talking about it. After 5 weeks, they admitted they were wrong and
But tell us now, in the second week, the owner of Geeta Cinema in Worli told you that you know how people were not buying cola and popcorn.
in the first week.
Okay.
It was a Tuesday morning and I went to, he called me and said, आप मेरे theatre में आइए. He said, देखिए interval हो गया है, इधर कोई नहीं है. Nobody is buying any drinks. I thought he was adding on to the complaints. Or what he was trying to tell me is they are glued to their seats, nobody wants to get up. That's why they haven't come out. And they will, when the song begins in the second half, then they come out for their drinks and their loo operations. But otherwise they're so glued to their seats. So that decided for me that the silence is absolutely they can't believe they're stunned. That is the silence. And by the third week maximum, they were repeating all the lines. That means the repeat audiences were coming in. So it was, as far as we were concerned, they admitted after 5 or 6 weeks. But we understood in that very first week that this is what it is.
The film is going to be a mega blockbuster.
Yeah.
You never consider casting Mahmood. You worked on a film called
Jawhar Mahmood in Goa.
You never thought of casting him. He was brilliant with his comedy.
Yes, of course he was. But I didn't have something in mind that would.
No character in Sholay you thought would fit, will be suitable.
You tell me.
Perhaps of naive. The
Naive,
character
tell
of
me.
Not
Oh, that. Then that's a guest appearance. It's not a. And what was wrong with what I had?
But you never felt like casting him.
Of course, brilliant actor. And he worked he worked like as a double in my father's film Mr. X. He played the Ashok Kumar. It was not Ashok Kumar doing the stunts. It was Mahmood doing the stunts for Invisible Man. He's the one who rode the bike. And when it's visible, it's Ashok Kumar. When it's not visible, it was Mahmood. So he at that time was desperate. He would do anything that came to him. But what a brilliant actor. I mean, unforgettable.
Finally, sir, what was your biggest takeaway from Sholay? How do you look back at that film today?
I'll say I loved making it, but I would not attempt to make it again or attempt anything like that again. It's too much. I think I didn't have any problems. The problems were there. It took time to do everything, but I wouldn't attempt it today.
With that, sir, I just want to say thank you so much for making Sholay. Looking forward to watching it on the big screen on December 12th. Thank you so much and all the best for what you do next, sir. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks.